No one could have thought that a baby born in a small German town in 1883 would become a monster who would terrorize the country for more than 15 years. When the serial killer was finally caught, he confessed to committing 69 murders. As in the case of other psychopathic killers, the violence to which the boy was subjected as a child played a role in the development of the beast's personality. Peter was the eldest of 13 children in the family and spent almost his entire childhood and youth watching his alcoholic father abuse his mother, beating and raping a powerless woman. As a result, the man was imprisoned for raping his own 13-year-old daughter. According to Curtin himself, he committed his first murder at the tender age of 9. He dealt with his offending classmates. The boy pushed one into the icy river and kept the second, who rushed to help, underwater until he choked. The police considered the incident an accident and Peter a lucky survivor. Peter Curtin was born on May 26, 1883 in the Cologne suburb of Mulheim. His father suffered from alcoholism and had an unhealthy craving for sexual perversion. So, he raped his mother in front of the children, then raped his own daughters. As a result, he was arrested and sentenced to 3 years in prison. Perhaps these events deformed Curtin's psyche. Curtin, soon after his father's conviction, began to show similar inclinations. He raped his sisters, killed birds and drank their blood. In 1893, while riding a raft on the Rhine, he drowned 2 of his fellow peers. The court accepted the fact of death as an accident, although Peter himself admitted to committing a double murder. By the age of 12, Peter Curtin had completely degraded as a person. He masturbated on his own sisters, engaged in bestiality, sometimes killing animals during his copulation with them. He repeatedly ran away from home and made a living by robbing women. Over time, Curtin moved to the city of Koblenz. There he first tried sex with an adult woman, and also, having committed a grand theft, was arrested and received his first criminal sentence. In 1899, he was released and again began to engage in crimes, but this time, he gave vent to his base passions in the form of committing murders. Peter Curtin committed his first murder in 1900. His victim was a minor girl whom he raped and killed. According to Curtin himself, he committed his first murder at the tender age of 9. He dealt with his offending classmates. The boy pushed one into the icy river and kept the second, who rushed to help, underwater until he choked. The police considered the incident an accident and Peter a lucky survivor. Given the atmosphere prevailing in the family, the boy did not have an emotional connection with any of its members. There were no friends either. A certain semblance of friendship, but in reality a viscous, dark, nasty common secret, united Peter with a neighbor who introduced the teenager to an unnatural relationship with animals. By the age of 12, the boy had completely decomposed morally. He killed animals, masturbated on his own sisters, and indulged in various perversions. By the time Curtin felt the urge to kill, he had already accumulated a substantial criminal baggage: thefts, robberies, arson, violence, desertion. He was imprisoned several times. The first confirmed victim of the maniac was Christina Klein. He strangled a 9-year-old girl who became an accidental witness to the robbery. Then he returned to the crime scene and observed the reaction of local residents. A few months later he dealt with another girl. And almost immediately he committed a series of burglaries and arson. He was caught and imprisoned for 6 years. While serving his sentence, he fantasized about future crimes and even dealt with several prisoners. He poisoned them in the prison hospital. Upon his release in 1921, through his sister he met a woman, Augusta Scharf. She once made a living by selling her own body, and now she sold candy. Augusta also had a prison sentence behind her. Scharf served time for the murder of her fiancé. Apparently, the commonality of views pushed the couple towards each other. They quickly got along and got married. But, as the Dusseldorf maniac himself admitted, although he led an active sex life with his wife, he received true pleasure only from murders. A few years later, together with Augusta, they moved to Dusseldorf. And murders poured out like from a cornucopia: an old woman, a girl, a middle-aged man. There seemed to be no system in this series. The only thing that united us was the place and time the Dusseldorf vampire attacked at dusk. In the press, and Peter happily flirted with the media, sending detailed reports about crimes to newspapers. He was dubbed exactly that. For a long time, the police were sure that the murders were committed by a gang, and not by one person. During a walk in the park, Peter helped the girl Maria Budlick when she quarreled with her boyfriend. He drove the boyfriend away. The excited Maria agreed to drink wine with Curtin at his home to calm down. Instead, he took the girl to the forest, raped her, and tried to strangle her. By some miracle, she convinced the rapist to let her go, assuring her that she didn't really remember her appearance or place and wouldn't tell anyone anything. She kept her word. She didn't say anything. But she outlined what happened on paper in detail and sent a letter to her friend. Due to an error in the address, the letter was opened at the post office and the case was set in motion. Budlick was interrogated, and she gave the address of the criminal. Curtin confessed everything to his wife. At the trial, he did not deny guilt. When asked about remorse, he answered the judge as follows: "I don't have any. I have never felt anything like this in my soul. I have never thought that what I am doing is bad, although human society condemns it. My blood and the blood of my victims are on the hands of my tormentors. The punishments I was subjected to destroyed my human feelings. And I have no pity for the victims." On April 13, 1931, the court sentenced Peter Curtin to death by guillotine 9 times. The verdict was final and not subject to appeal, but the serial killer managed to defer the execution of the sentence for a year. The trial took place in the police barracks, due to the large influx of curious people. The suspect with his lawyer with Dr. Weichner, 4-year-old Gertrude Ackerman and 20-year-old Mary Kahn. Exhumation of this girl's corpse. On July 2, 1931, the sentence was carried out. On the morning of the day of execution, the Dusseldorf vampire told the prison doctor about his secret dream: "When my head is cut off, I will be able to feel, even if only for a moment, how my own blood will flow from a decapitated neck. This will be the highest pleasure, which will eclipse everything that I have experienced so far." The vampire was sentenced to beheaded. The sentence was carried out by guillotine on October 2, 1931. The last words of the maniac who confessed to 69 murders were the following: "I would like to know, when I am beheaded, will I hear, at least for a moment, the sound of blood flowing from my neck? It would be a pleasure to end all the pleasures like this." Curtin willingly testified at the trial and did not deny his guilt. In response to a question about remorse, he told the judge this way: "I don't have any. I have never felt anything like this in my soul. I have never thought that what I am doing is bad, although human society condemns it. My blood and the blood of my victims are on the hands of my tormentors. The punishments I was subjected to destroyed my human feelings. And I have no pity for the victims." Curtin confessed to 69 murders, the court proved 9 murders, and the court sentenced him to guillotine. On June 2, 1931, the sentence was carried out. Curtin's last words were: "I would like to know, when I am beheaded, will I hear, at least for a moment, the sound of blood flowing from my neck? It would be a pleasure to end all the pleasures like this."